Over time, Asuna has garnered many names. The Flash, the Berserker Healer, Little Grey Riding Hood. She has been and continually evolves to be a very strong person. She doesn't have many glaring weaknesses, but if I had to highlight just one, I think this is a funny one to do so. As I'm sure you are aware, Aincrad features a vast variety of different environments and themes for each of its 100 floors. As you might know from my previous videos, Asuna was a top contributor towards the clearing. In the original timeline, it's in the form of a manic, almost obsessive drive to make progress in the game due to a near paralyzing fear she felt of losing her perfect ideal future, which by extension would be losing all she had ever lived for and had known in life. In the progressive timeline, it's a little different. Originally, she had this sort of fuck it mentality. If she was going to die anyway, then might as well die on her own terms, right? Then, through a chance encounter, she met someone with whom she would come to spend some fun and interesting interactions with, ultimately causing her to change her mind in regards to being so reckless with her life. Instead, she found herself with a new, smaller goal, to live and remain at the front lines in order to get more chances to interact with that person. Regardless though, in both timelines she is at the forefront of the clearing, strengthening herself in the grind against the toughest mobs, mapping the floor labyrinths, taking part in and sometimes even organising the raids against the floor bosses guarding the way to the floor above. This is true for pretty much all the floors that they ended up clearing. That is, except for one of them. As I mentioned before, each of Aincrad's floors had a theme to it. The second floor featured half rocky terrain, half forests, with a feature on cow, bull type monsters. The 47th floor was garden themed, featuring a lot of beautiful flowers in abundance, as well as appropriately themed monsters such as giant Venus flytraps. The 27th floor was themed with perpetual darkness, simulating a sort of underground feeling with ores being in abundance. Asuna would see through and experience many different environments on her ascension throughout the Iron Prison. The 65th floor, however, would pose a unique problem to her. The monsters it featured didn't really stand out in terms of difficulty, in comparison to the rest of the monsters she had faced throughout the game. However, she would find them incredibly challenging to deal with, as the theme for the labyrinth connecting the 65th floor to the 66th floor was horror. Surprisingly, Asuna doesn't do well with ghosts and other things of astral nature. In fact, even just a story told in a semi-convincing tone featuring these themes is enough to spook her. So from that, you can already imagine how she would take to seeing ultra-realistic ghosts right before her very eyes trying to take her life. It inspired a fear in her the likes of which probably only her mother could match. However, she had a reputation and pride to uphold. People couldn't see the mighty Flash, #1 Guild Knights of the Blood Oath sub-leader and fanatic clearer of the front lines, cowering in fear of mere floor mobs for some childlike reason such as a fear of ghosts. So, in order to avoid such a disastrous situation, she came up with various excuses and reasons to ditch the clearing of the labyrinth altogether. However, as hard as she tried to avoid it, I suspect rumours of her phobia might have leaked among the front lines. After all, the same Asuna who was fanatically clearing the front lines pretty much every day and working the Knights of the Blood to the bone was mysteriously nowhere to be found on the one floor that featured astral monsters as the main foe. Somebody at least probably connected the dots, as later on we'd find out that Kirito was aware of this particular weakness of hers. In their time together during their break on the 22nd floor, they would spend each day doing various activities, enjoying each other's company. At the start of one such day, Asuna posed a question to Kirito as to what they should do on that day. Kirito had picked up on a rumour from the local town that there was a real ghost lurking about in the forest. Not a monster, not an NPC, but the real deal. Of course, it was just a rumour and Kirito himself didn't believe it to be true. However, knowing Asuna's weakness to this subject, he deviously teased her with the existence of the rumour, proposing that they should go and verify the validity of it for the day's activity. The idea of the proposal made Asuna wince, but in an attempt to save face in front of her partner, she tried to regain her composure by logicking it out, saying, and I quote, "But you see, this is the virtual world of the game. Something like a ghost coming out, something like that just could never happen," she said while forcing a smile upon her face. However, Kirito smelt blood in the water, and mercilessly went on the offensive by coming up with the soundest reasoning he possibly could as to how such an occurrence could happen, suggesting that perhaps if a player who died with unfulfilled regrets, possessing the nerve gear still attached and switched on, wandered through the fields night after night. This was enough to finally crack Asuna and make her lose her cool. Of course, her protesting was much to Kirito's amusement, having achieved his goal. Thank you for watching this video. This will be the last one in Asna month, so I thought it'd be nice to end it on a funny, light-hearted topic like this one, given that my last one was more serious in nature. I know when I first read this, it made me laugh, picturing Asna, who would continuously put herself in dangerous situations with steeled resolve, be undone by a childish fear of ghosts. I hope you guys found it entertaining as well. Obviously I'll make more Asna videos in the future, they'll just be a bit more spread out than they were during Asna month. Leave suggestions in the comments below for other characters that you guys might want to see me cover for an entire month like I did for Asna. If any of them pique my interest, then I just might do it. Also, please don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more content like this or on any of my other interests. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye bye.